What's up, my friend? Welcome. Today, I want to share with you how you can get your first 10,000 followers, go from 0 to 10,000 followers, everything that you need to know, whether you're brand new for creating or you've been creating for a while and can't seem to break that $10,000 follower mark, and maybe the $10,000 mark too. So my name is Colin and I am a full-time content creator. I'm not super rich, but I am full-time. This is where I live right now. I'm just living in an ADU. I kind of travel around, living wherever I want. Working on my own schedule. And while it has its own, I'm going through my own challenges and stuff, I am a full-time creator. So I just wanted to share with you, as what I've learned along my journey. So I'm going to be cooking here and sharing with you, if you were to come over and hang out and we were cooking together, I'm just going to share with you what I would have you do if you were my client. So first thing that you want to do is first thing I want to do is get out my vegetables, which I'm doing. But really what you want to do to go full-time as a content creator, to get your first 10,000 followers, which is on your way to becoming full-time, is you have to start creating content. That's the most important thing. So I get people messaging me, asking me like, hey man, like what tips do you have for, like, I want to create content, but I'm afraid to, or, I don't know. They don't even say that I'm afraid to. Most people just say I want to create content, but I don't know how to. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to just start creating content. Now, if you don't know where to start, you got to figure out what you want to create. And that's pretty simple, because what you do is you just find the creators that you're inspired by and that you either really like watching or that you want to be like. So I find that when I get jealous of certain creators, that might be an indicator that I want to do what they're doing, right? So that's an indicator. You just start doing research. You start scrolling, start saving the things that really speak to you, start saving those, what do you call it, the posts, and then you're in a research phase. You're figuring out what you want to create. And then you want to start creating. And if you're too afraid to post it, you just start posting it anyway. You just start creating it anyway, and you don't have to post it. So I know some people are like, they want to be in the watch phase for a while. They don't want to post right away. And that's okay. I do think that you're going to learn. I do know this from experience that you're going to learn way more by posting than you'll ever learn just by creating. But if you really don't know what it is you want to create, you just want to start posting, and you just want to start posting things. Okay. So that's the first part, is you want to start making stuff. And the thing is you're going to make really bad content. And if you're worried about your friends and family watching you, let's say you have 800 Instagram followers and they're just people you've met over the years, but you really want to grow to like 100K. So what you're going to do is I don't recommend starting a brand new Instagram account, although you could. It depends on whatever feels in the flow for you. But what I recommend doing is making an account somewhere that it doesn't matter. So for me, TikTok was a key, because when I first had TikTok, nobody that I knew was on TikTok. And they didn't like have any way of finding me really that I was aware of, or maybe I could turn that off. I think you can turn it off so like they can't find you from their contacts. And then you can just TikTok is just like a testing ground basically for what is going to work. So you can just start making shit on TikTok, and like it's just going to tell you what's going to do well, and it doesn't show you to and it's like you're just making it for random people in the public, and it's like it's amazing for that. So that's what you do if you're embarrassed by, you don't want to make super cringy stuff, and maybe you do know kind of what you're talking about. But either way, you're going to need to just start making stuff and posting. You can't. I still to this day, I just finished a 30-day posting challenge, and I learned so much by just posting content. And like, I forced myself, because I did this 30-day challenge, I forced myself to post a lot of things I wouldn't normally post. And I learned so much from that posting process. I posted things that I wouldn't normally have ever posted because of that. And I got feedback that I never would have gotten because I was too afraid of being cringe. Even at, 250,000 followers on Instagram, there's certain things that I'm afraid of posting, but during this challenge, I was like, fuck it, I have to get to a certain amount of videos. So I did it, and I learned a lot. And I also got over that fear a little bit. I mean, it's always going to be there, but I got a little bit more over the fear of like being cringe and stuff. So yeah, it's just, you really just got to start posting. Okay. So now that I've hammered that into your brain, so let's say you have started posting and now you're going to get feedback. You're going to start learning what it is people want to hear, what they want to know, what they want to experience, like what people are reacting to, the comments, all the things. You're going to start learning stuff. So once you start learning stuff, so you're going to learn things about what you like, what you don't like posting. You're going to learn how people respond, all that stuff. So once you start learning that, then you're going to want to start dialing it into actually like creating stuff that gets views and like people respond to. So you're learning by posting, but that's not enough because you're just throwing shit at the wall at this point. So you are maybe getting a better idea of what you want, like the kind of creator that you want to be and what you want to post and stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to have like a niche or something like that. And while I don't recommend niching down per se, because I have my beliefs about us becoming personal brands and like you are the niche, there is certain things you're going to talk about, because if you are a personal brand, you still need to have a mission. For example, my mission is to help people make better videos and so that they can go viral and all that stuff. So, but then you can still talk about whatever you want within the context of that mission. So we're going to talk about, so you're going to have maybe your mission, maybe you don't know it yet, but you're going to go on and start researching other people's content. And you're going to have like categories in mind of like what you might want to create, what kind of stuff is fun for you. Make sure it's fun. This is the most important part. And then you're going to start doing research. You're going to start checking things out. You're going to be on Instagram. You're going to be saving other people's posts that you like or inspired by or things you think you could make. And then what you're going to do, you're going to go into a phase of emulation. All right. So you're going to start emulating. And this means that you are not going to copy it exactly, but you're going to steal like an artist. I'm sure you've heard this before, but if not, then there's a whole book written about stealing like an artist. And even David Bowie says to steal like an artist. So what you do is you take the hook, the style, the feeling, the topic, and anything else about the video, and you emulate the length of it. You pay attention to all these things you do research and you find what's viral. Anything that has over 10,000 likes or, 500,000 to 1 million views, anything over that, you save into like a folder or something in your Instagram, or you can put it into a spreadsheet. And then you go through and you start like breaking down these videos and you start looking for like why this video went viral. What is the style? What is the hook? What is the feeling of it? What is the topic? And then you start emulating it in your own way. So you can do this two ways. You can start picking videos that are viral in your own niche. And if you don't necessarily, or even if you don't have, whether you have a niche or not, you can also steal videos that you're otherwise inspired by in other niches and put it into your own niche. Okay. So then you do that and then you start emulating these videos. You start adding these in your own style. And this is eventually how you're going to go viral. Then you're going to start making all these videos, as often as you can. I recommend 3 times a week minimum, if not once a day. They don't all have to be the viral videos, but you want to just keep testing shit out. Just keep putting stuff out there. You know what I mean? And then once you put stuff out there, you are going to get feedback. You're going to emulate stuff. It's not going to work in the beginning. You're going to recreate a viral video and it's just not going to work. You're going to see a viral video. You're going to break it down, do it exactly the same as they did it. Just put it on your own little twist or your own niche or whatever. You're going to do it exactly the same. You're going to execute it so well and it's not going to do shit. It's going to get so few views and you're going to be so upset and you're going to be sad. And I should do B-roll of me cooking in here. This is good. These could be good shots. Can you see this? Cracking the eggs. And then you're going to get so upset and you're going to be like, you're going to want to give up. But that's the moment that you don't give up. That's the moment right there. So you don't give up. Okay. As much as you want to, don't give up. Then you're going to keep doing this. Okay. You're going to get some feedback and then you're going to take account. You're going to, like, after a couple weeks, you're going to look at all the views in your videos and you're going to say, all right, my average views is about, let's say 300 or 500 or something. My average views is 500. This video got 600. This video got 400. This video got 300. This video got 800. What did I do here? And you do this, you give it like a week or two to like digest the views and like, all that stuff. And before I go on, let me just say that you want to also focus on the process of posting. You don't want to focus on one individual video, be like, this is it, post it, and then just keep refreshing until you see how many views it gets. You want to, once you post it, move on to the next one. Just think about your week. Think about getting as many videos done in a week as you can, and then so you can look back and see what worked and what didn't. Okay, so then you're looking at all your views, and then you're like, wow, that's a good video. That did 800 views. Let's break down why. And then you take into account like what it is you talked about, like what the hook was, what the style was. And you kind of start doubling down on that style of video. So let's say I did a tutorial video for the first time and I got more views than normal. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, people like tutorials. Then I would make a different tutorial video. Or maybe the hook was something really badass. Maybe you do the same hook with a different topic that's similar, right? I can't tell you exactly how to emulate, recreate this, but you start doubling down. Now you don't just only make those kind of videos, but you add twice as many of those as before, and then you keep experimenting. And then over time, what happens is that if you do this right and you do this persistently, and the more you do it, basically the reason you post every day, if possible, is because the more you post, the faster this process is gonna go. It's not about tricking the algorithm, it's just the faster this whole thing is gonna go. So then you post every day, and then you say, wow, okay, this is dope. I'm going to, I see the style of videos that are working, and then your average views, and you start doubling down on those, and then average views start going up. So your average views are starting to go up. The algorithm's starting to realize where to send your people to, what kind of people are responding, what kind of videos you're making that are responding to. And then boom, eventually you're gonna hit a sort of tidal wave point where it's like all your average videos are going up. There's momentum happening with people and engagement and the algorithm. And then one of them eventually is gonna pop off. It's just the way it works. It's really a momentum thing. It's rare that people just get a random viral video, although that does happen, but it's really it's all these things happening at once. And so now you have the formula of exactly how to get, sorry, I got an email, exactly what it wants, the process of it, okay? So once you've done that, now you figured out how to grow and you figured out how to get, so now you get your 10,000 followers, and that's kind of it for your first 10,000. Now, if we wanted to just talk about how to build a personal brand and do all that stuff and how to make money, these things I'm in the process of learning and figuring out, and I've got some expertise on them. I do know how to go viral, and I do know how to edit videos really well. So that's where my solid expertise lands. But in future videos, we're going to be exploring more of how to build a more personal brand and do all those fun things. And let me see if I forgot anything about, there's lots of nuance as far as like going viral, but that's really going to help you get your first 10,000 followers. And let's just leave it at that. I'm about to start cooking these eggs, and you guys have been awesome. So I'll see you in the next one.